What's up, everybody? It's Saturday, right before Mother's Day, and I thought I'd tell a little story. Hopefully, y'all can find it where it connect. You know, I was probably 5 or 6 years old. My dad, he worked all the time, and he done some job, and the guy that was going to pay him traded out some stuff. So he give him a little bit of cash, a few different items, and give him some oysters, raw oysters. I remember my dad invited a bunch of people over, and all the men was shucking oysters, and I never had heard of them. And my mom was talking about pearls all day long, and she was battering them and going to fry most of them. Most of the men was eating them raw, and she wouldn't let me or my sister eat the raw oysters, so she's battering them, frying them for a bunch of people. And she was talking about the pearls, and I said, "What is a pearl?" She said, "They're just valuable. They're worth a lot of money." Well, after I heard that, I remember I was praying real hard, and I was 5, 6 years old, and I was innocent. And I was praying, and I thought, if I could find a pearl and help my mom and dad to keep from working so many hours, that would be a good gift. Well, she made up an oyster and give it to me on a little napkin, and I walk outside. It was dark. I looked up at the sky, and it's a full moon. I remember before I take a bite, I'm praying real hard, saying, "God, let me find a pearl." And I promise you, the first bite, I bite straight in to something hard, reach in and pull it out, and it's a bluish gray small pearl, probably the size of 4 or 5 BBs. I walk over, shaking. My little hand was just shaking. I got Mom's attention, and she came to me in the doorway, and she said, "What is it, honey?" And I said, what is this?" And she looked at it, and she said, "Wow, you found a pearl." She shouts out, tells everybody in the room, everybody around, "Chuck found a pearl. Chuck found a pearl." I said, "All right, are we rich?" Well, quickly she said, "No, honey, it ain't worth anything." So that was a disappointment. When I sat down, I eat, and I find a second pearl, a small white pearl, probably the size of a BB. What I'm trying to get at is, for this Sunday, if you can, try to remember your innocence. Now, my innocence has been lost years ago, but if you can, find your innocence and pray for your mother. Pray for the woman that's in your life that is a mother. Let them know that you love them, and that is probably more valuable than any monetary item that you can give them. So for all the women out there that's a mother, love y'all. For the people that's lost a mother, we're praying about y'all, and I know that you miss her. So love y'all. Happy weekend. Cheers.